As a continuation to my last video, I wanted to talk about mistakes we could make while trying to calculate profits and how to avoid those mistakes so that our calculations and expectations are as real as possible. And while doing that, I will also tell you how going from $28 to $2,000 in a year and a half was easily possible with a one-time investment. In my last video, we discovered how profitable the NOS collection has been in the past 1 year. Encouraged by this, I wanted to find out what's the maximum profit a skin from the NOS collection could actually have made had I invested into it when the prices were at their lowest. And while trying to do that, I made a few mistakes in the process and realized this is what could actually happen to someone new or relatively new to CSGO investing. So here are my attempts at calculating profits. Since I could not find sale graphs for the Opgungnir on the Steam community market, I tried several sites, but the only place where I found complete sale graphs for all the skins starting right from the time of release of the NOS collection till now was CS Money. So I used the graphs from there. And based on the values for initial cost and current value from there, I calculated the ROIs for all the skins. Tabulating the results, there are a few things that stand out. Among other things, I wasn't convinced by the very high ROIs for the Mag7 and the MP7 and very low ROIs for the Galil Tornado and the SSG-08 Redstone. I felt like somehow I had the wrong data and I decided to cross-check the prices with the Steam community market prices. Taking the MP7's cost as an example, let's compare the data from the two sources for the same date. In short, the prices from CS Money are not always in correlation with the Steam community market and hence not a reliable source of information for our calculations. So, I decided to redo the calculations based on findings from the Steam community market for whichever skins the data was available. I took a note of the lowest and the highest prices of all the skins and redid all the calculations. I left out Opgungnir as there were no recent sales for it on the community market. Again, like the first attempt, there are a few things that look suspicious, but in particular, these are some rather unusual ROIs. It's unrealistic to say the least. So, what could have gone wrong this time? Number 1. I took the highest price for a skin ever as the current value. The problem with that is, sometimes there is a single or just a few high price sales for a skin. It doesn't matter if it's someone transferring money from one account to another, or if it's just a super low float skin that a skin collector wanted for his collection. What matters for us common folks is that we cannot take that price into consideration for our calculations. Number 2. I have taken the lowest price for a skin as the cost of investment. The problem here is that sometimes there are single sales at extremely low prices like with the factory new Opgungnir on the Steam community market. Imagine getting that for $20. Usually, people sell at such prices by mistake, either while mass selling other items or maybe when they smoke something they shouldn't have. We cannot rely on those random dips and thus we cannot base our calculations on those either. Keeping all the mistakes in mind, I started out again. This time, I purposely ignored any single skin sales that felt even a bit out of place. Also, this time I wanted to include the Opgungnir, so I checked several sites taking into account their last sale price for a factory new Opgungnir. On most sites, I did not find a sale recent enough to be useful. On CS Money, the last sale was on July 11th, 2021 for $11,707.30 and on Bitskins also on July 11th for $11,500. I went on to take the current value of the investment as $11,500, same as that on Bitskins. As for the initial cost, I went with $746.76, which I got from the Steam community market. For the negative and all the rest, I used the data from the Steam community market itself. The best ROIs are from the Mag7 chainmail with 9,471% and 3 mil-spec skins, namely the XM1014, with 8,604%, the Mac 10 with 8,397%, and the CC75 with 7,530%. What surprised me was the fact that if we think of which grade of skins were the most profitable, it came out to be the mil-spec skins and not the consumer or industrial. The only exception being the Mac 7 chainmail because of its very low initial cost. So, since the Mac 7 chainmail gave an ROI of 9,471%, if you invested $28 into it a year and a half ago, today your profit would amount to 28 multiplied by 9471 divided by 100, that is $2,651.88. And the net worth of your items would be $2,651.88 plus the $28 you originally invested, that is $2,679.88. That's much more than $2,000. Then why did I say $2,000 at the start of the video? That's because in order for your skins to translate to wallet funds, you would need to sell your skins. Now, there are two problems with that. Problem number one. The amount you invested was $28 on November 19th, 2019, and the cost at the time was $0.17. So, you would have gotten almost 165 of factory new Mac 7 chainmails. But, could you have sold 165 Mac 7s at $16.27? To answer that, we need to look at the volume or the number of sales at that price. There were 34 skins sold at $16.27 on June 13th. That's not enough volume. To be practical, the sale volume would have to be much larger. To solve this problem, I considered the sales for 30 days for which the total volume of Mac 7 sold was 919, and the average selling price during those 30 days came out to be $14.07. And that's a price where you could have easily sold all your skins. So, for individual sales, our selling price of $16.27 could have worked. But for selling hundreds of skins, it would be safe to consider $14.07 as the selling price, giving an ROI of around 8,176%. Similarly, I calculated the total volume and average selling price for our other three most profitable skins from the mil-spec grade. Moving on to our problem number 2. Obviously, that would be the Steam tax. Now, with an ROI of 8,176%, the net worth of your skins would be 28 multiplied by 8,176 divided by 100, plus the $28 you originally invested. And that comes to around $2,317.28. While selling your skins on the Steam community market, you would lose roughly 13.04% from the current value of your skins, meaning wallet funds would be equal to 86.96% of the current value of your skins. That would be $2,317.28 multiplied by 86.96 divided by 100. That is $2,015.11. So, that is how your Steam wallet funds would have grown from $28 to $2,000, or rather $2,015.11. And the winner of the giveaway is congratulations. I will be contacting you shortly to give you the P250 seal later. Well, if you like my videos, subscribe. Thank you for watching. This is Crest, and I'll be back soon.